My relationship with Pokemon is complicated. I think a lot of fans feel this way. We really want to love the franchise, but every release feels like a disappointment. I didn't even plan to buy Pokemon Legends Arceus. I had already bought the Pearl remake, I'd had my fill of the franchise, and I didn't want to take part in the series' latest disappointment. It wasn't until I had watched a couple hours of gameplay that my mind was changed.
He's coming for me.
With every new Pokemon game, people are quick to praise and forget past criticism, but there's something about how different this new one looked that I almost immediately folded. I bought it the day after it came out, and the craziest thing happened. I had fun. So why is this game actually fun in a way previous games weren't? I've got a one-word answer for you: streamlined. Again, I last played Pokemon Shining Pearl, the last and most recent title in the franchise. I thought that game had done a lot to make the gameplay less arduous, but the amount of refinement and streamlining Arceus does in the best possible way feels like such a drastic change. I can't ever see myself being okay with returning to the former. So let's break down what I mean by streamlining. First, let's focus on the obvious. They learned a lot from Breath of the Wild. Yes, it's a different development team, but the inspiration is shameless. From the art style to the UI and inventory design, even some of the ambient music in the fields, they took note of what went well in Breath of the Wild, but not just aesthetics. For example, in Breath of the Wild, what was your most memorable moment of gameplay? For me, it was that first encounter with a Guardian out in the field. I barely knew how to control Link, I had no bearings on my surroundings, and here's this terrifying contraption that's even got the piano player shook. It was a harsh awakening into how threatening the game could be. And Legends Arceus recreated that sensation in a shockingly effective way. Alpha forms. Odds are your first alpha form encounter was that Snorlax by the river in the very first zone of the game as you're still getting your bearings. The alpha mechanic hasn't even been introduced, and yet here's this huge Pokemon with glowing red eyes that knocks you on your feet the second he sees you. You want to fight it? Well, he's level 50. Good luck fighting it with your level 8 Rowlet. It's a smart adaptation to provide meaningful overworld threats that keep you on your toes while you're traversing through an area for the first time, and just like in Breath of the Wild, a rewarding challenge to face later once you've gotten more experienced and equipped in the form of a big spooky Pokemon that you get to add to your team. Legends Arceus didn't just learn from Breath of the Wild though, it also corrected mistakes made in Sword and Shield. Maybe not the tree mistakes, but let's not talk about the trees right now. Let's talk about how we can make this game oriented around battling Pokemon into a game oriented on catching them all. See, both Sword and Shield and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee tried to emphasize catching by adding experience from catching new mons, but it still felt the clunkiness of having to go through a battle just to repeatedly press A until one of your balls catches it. It just wasn't fun. With Legends Arceus, catching is so fast and core to the gameplay, you don't even need to stop running to catch a new Pokemon. All it takes is a notification in the top corner and some nice audio cues to know you've caught it. As well, they've shaken up the gameplay formula more drastically than any game before. For every game since X and Y 9 years ago, they've been content to change gameplay by simply giving some Pokemon an extra super strong move in some form or another. In Legends Arceus, status effects have been shaken up, agile and strong attacks work beautifully with more open turn order gameplay in which Pokemon can attack twice in a row just by being fast and multiple Pokemon can attack you all at once. They've even streamlined the tedium of menus seen in every other game. Now when you level up, you aren't forced to scroll through menus looking to see which stat got +2 or 0, it just tells you you've leveled up. You don't have to spend 20 minutes deliberating on taking a new move, the game just tells you you've got a new move available, and you can go pick which ones you want at any time, as many times as you want. You can nickname your Pokemon whenever you want, holding items, they're not a thing anymore, we got bored of it, we threw it out, you if you liked it. Lastly, I want to touch on how the focus on Legends Arceus being purely single player improves the game. Have a Pokemon you really like, but he kinda sucks in every way? Boom, throw some dust on him, now his effort levels are so high he's the best guy on your team. Want to shiny hunt, but not go through the lame routine of resetting your game over and over in the hope that 1 in 4093 will actually be the shiny you want? Just go find some outbreaks or time warps, fill out the Pokedex entry to boost the odds more. I mean, shit, you run into so many Pokemon in this game that you'll probably have 2 or 3 before you even beat the story. Shiny hunting is just one of the many mechanics that Legends Arceus has streamlined into being the most fun it has ever been. This game isn't flawless. The story is drawn out with unsatisfying conclusions, the graphics are serviceable at best, and incredibly low-res and bland at worst. The music is great, but becomes incredibly sparse once you've beaten the story and can traverse between areas much faster than before. But what Legends Arceus has managed to do is not just streamline nearly every boring mechanic from previous entries, but take a series that has been spiraling in repetition for decades into a truly new direction. While some aesthetics and mechanics are wholesale borrowed, I've truly never played a gameplay loop in any way similar to Legends Arceus. It isn't flawless, but it is what it needs to be. Fun.
The game is fun. The game is a battle. If it's not fun, why bother? If it's not a battle, where's the fun? It's a test that you pass or a quest that you fail. A race against time. Fun and battle always locked together. But the game is also something else. It's a journey, a passport to new worlds, maybe even an odyssey. A look, a feel, an exploration. Close your focus and open your mind.